Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Istanbul, day 2 in Istanbul. I thought I'd come and give you guys some tips and advice about traveling around town. Now, I've covered this before in my TikTok and also my Instagram feeds, but I wanted to cover it again because it's the most up-to-date. So first of all, Istanbul, whether we like it or not, and I know there's haters out there, they're always defensive, I don't know why. Look, Istanbul is bloody expensive, right? The difference is, and I know people will start writing comments, but London is expensive, Rome is expensive, but the point is that London, Rome, New York were always expensive. Istanbul wasn't expensive, and that's the reason why it was so attractive. Now it's drawing in a different crowd. A lot of Arab countries and nationalities are coming to Istanbul because it's closer for them. Their money goes a long way, even though, to be honest, it's actually just as expensive as back home in their own countries. But they have loads of money, you know, and they can spend without even thinking about it. Whereas we earn our money. So that's the difference. So it's really important to give you the best advice that we can about traveling around town, because you have to be a little bit, if you like, I wouldn't say cautious necessarily, because I don't want to like create hysteria now and say that Turks are bad, Turkey is bad. No, I love Turkey. I'm here at least 4 or 5 times a year for work. And I'm just sharing my experiences with you, so you as a traveller coming into Istanbul have a much more informed decision, or can make more informed decisions about particularly travelling about town, which is what we're going to be talking about now. So first of all, guys, get in a taxi. It's absolutely madness. I mean, I personally only drive here, and I always rent from Green Motion. I'll put the details in the caption below. They're reliable, minimal deposit, insurance is great. And to be honest, I think driving around in a car rental is the best option, one of the best options. But remember, parking is a disaster in Istanbul, and some places you just can't find parking. And also the auto parks or the public parking or private parking spots that you have are bloody expensive. If you want to rent a car here, download the app called IS Park. That's a government-managed parking lots all scattered over town. Prices are fixed and they're much more reasonable than the private parking lots that you have. You can also find them on Google Maps by typing IS Park, but also download the app. Again, I'll put the details in the caption below. Get in a taxi. Whoa. Getting a taxi is like Russian roulette. I mean, literally, I've been scammed every single time, every time I've come to Istanbul. And these are the things to look out for and the things to be cautious about. First of all, download this app called Bit Taxi. It's a local app, and you can book yellow taxis through this app. The pricing is more or less fixed, and make sure when you download the app, you click, there's a button that you need to swipe. Is an option basically that taxis should have their meters working and on. Make sure you click that before you make any requests for a taxi. So this is the most reliable app, also Uber, but the thing you need to be wary about using these apps. The number one classic scam that you get by using these apps is that when it's busy period, even though the apps themselves, Uber and Bit Taxi, have, if you like, confirmed the price, you always get some unscrupulous drivers who will direct message you and say, oh, you know, I'm stuck in traffic and it's very busy. It's going to cost like a 200 lira, 400 lira more than what the app has said. Just reject it, cancel the ride and report them. When you get into a taxi, always make sure, if you're not using these apps, always make sure the first thing you do is ask the driver to turn the meter on. If they refuse or give you some excuse, just get out of the taxi. Just in case things don't go well, always take a picture of the license plate of the taxi, because you can report them using the details that I'll put in the caption below, and it's also good for safety reasons. An official authorized taxi will always have one of their plaques on the dashboard, or sometimes on the door on the side when you're sitting in the back seat. Make sure you take a picture of that and get a record of their license number. Pickup fees and admin fees and all these types of fees are all calculated within the meter that they use. Don't entertain, for example, when you go to Istanbul Park, a lot of taxis over there will say it's £100 pickup fee. Bollocks. There's no such thing as £100 lira pickup fee. There's no such thing. It's all bollocks. It's just another way of them scamming you. The other scam that they do is obviously they go the scenic route to get to a destination. It's very simple. Download Google Maps if you haven't already got it, and then go into Google Maps and download offline maps for Istanbul. So if you don't have data in Istanbul, you can still have access to the maps. Type in your location and the destination you're going to, so that will give you the route that you're supposed to be taking. If the driver is taking you on a scenic route, which you'll soon realize because you're going way off the navigation, highlight to the driver, and if he starts being weary about it, just tell him to stop and get out that taxi, because he's going to scam you and take you a scenic route and charge you double the fare. If you're going over from Asian side to European side and vice versa, and some bridges and tunnels, there are fees, toll fees that you need to pay. Now, I'll give the links to the website, the official website, for the most up-to-date. I'm not going to announce the price now, because by the time you come to Istanbul, it might be more expensive. But they are fixed. The other scam that and you can check that out through the website that I'm going to put in the caption. The other thing is that they try and scam you and say that we have to charge you toll fees for a return journey back for them, because they will say that we're dropping you over from the European side to the Asian side and we have to come back empty. Total bollocks. You only pay toll fees for one way. Overall, guys, just be a little bit wary. And look, I'm not going to label everyone as a scammer, but unfortunately it does happen here a lot. Even though, ultimately at the end of the day, this city is driven, or this country is driven by tourism. I mean, if there were no tourists here, there'll be no income. And with the current climate that they have right now and the inflation, you would have thought that they would appreciate tourists a lot more and give us a lot more respect. But for some reason, it just gives them a reason to scam us, or try to scam us even more, particularly when it comes to traveling around town. So my advice, definitely download BitTaxi, the local app, or use Uber. But just be wary of direct messages from the drivers trying to get more money out of you. But that's probably the most safest way to travel around town if you're going to use taxis. Otherwise, of course, you have the metro and you have the bus system. Now, they're pretty good, but obviously be wary about peak hours, and also when it's hot and you have to wait outside in the queue and it's busy, it does become a mission. So these are the options, but of course, metro and buses are the cheapest option, sometimes the most well-connected and easiest way to get around town. As I said, just be wary about busy peak times, and then also the heat in the summer in particular. I particularly don't like waiting around in the scorching heat. But that's my wrap up for today. I hope you find my advice useful. Please, my Turkish colleagues and friends, don't get aggressive and start attacking me now, because that's what normally happens. I don't know what it is that as soon as a tourist starts sharing negativity about Turkey, we get attacked. But it's the reality, unfortunately. And I think some Turks need to realize that we tourists are bringing money into the economy, and particularly in the current climate, I think we should be listened to a little bit more and not attacked.